the 49ers at the Packers. Packers -6 with an over-under of 47. Lots of key injuries here for the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo is dealing with a shoulder strain as well as his hand injury. I think we kind of expect him to play. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we see some Trey Lance packages, though. And Nick Bosa in concussion protocol. Fred Warner suffered an ankle sprain against the Cowboys. Blanked there for a second. You can see it's +6, -115. I think all three of those guys will end up playing. Pete, do you like the 49ers or the Packers here?
I love the 49ers last week. I even said they would win that game outright, take them on the money line. That was one of my best picks. That's one of the only picks I had last week that was worth a damn. I think they're a physical, tough matchup for Green Bay. But I think this is a bad spot for the 49ers. You mentioned the injuries. Fred Warner, if he can't be himself, that's a big miss in the middle of that defense. I love the fact that they'll run the football, they'll control the clock. I get it. But the Packers are getting guys back. And I'm a big believer. You block the 49ers, you beat the 49ers. And the Cowboys didn't block them last week. The Rams didn't block them 2 weeks ago. They dominated that Rams line. They dominated the Cowboys line last week. The Packers got Bakhtiari back. That's enormous. Billy Turner back. That's enormous. They're going to be – and they've been solid on the offensive line, even though they haven't, had their players. In fact, I voted for Stefanovic, the offensive line coach, as the assistant coach of the year. I think he's done a magnificent job. And so when you look at this, I think they're going to block them, and I think that secondary is vulnerable. I know the 49ers are going to move the ball on the ground because the Packers have troubles at times, but they're getting guys back on defense as well with Alexander and Smith. I think the Packers – I'm not picking them as a best bet, but I think the Packers will cover this number and move on to the championship game.
Yeah, Green Bay had a crucial week to get healthy here, especially on the O-line. Like you said, Josh Myers, I think, is back too.
Myers too, yeah.
At center, and the defensive, they're getting Jair Alexander healthy. Preston Smith, I think, will be back. So it's a big deal there for the Packers. And San Fran can control the clock with the running game, but the thing is, even with these offensive line injuries, Green Bay has the highest average time of possession on offensive drives with 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So Rodgers is just staying on the field and keeping opposing offenses off the field. So if you're able to do that and turn that into points, I think San Fran, gets out of their game plan pretty quickly, and they have to scramble and try to catch up, and it could be a blowout. So I'm not gonna at 6. I'm not gonna put Packers in as a best bet. Green Bay edged out San Francisco in the first meeting. That was a different San Francisco rush attack. Trey Sermon was the RB1 in that game. Debo had 2 carries for 0 yards. And San Fran actually fell behind 17-0 in that game and showed tenacity battling back, take a fourth quarter lead. Much different here with a quarterback in 2-degree temperature, whatever it's going to be, nursing those injuries. If they fall behind, I don't think he'll be able to come back in this one. So I would lean to the Packers here. I just think that they're playing too well, have the better quarterback. They're at home. They have the better coach, I think, after what we saw last week with Shanahan. So if San Fran falls behind this time, I think Green Bay runs away with it and covers with ease. So I would lean to the Packers. Not going to play them. My best bet in this game is Eli Mitchell going under 75.5 rushing yards. He had 96 yards last week, but San Fran played from ahead the entire game, and that's unlikely here. I think he had 27 carries also. His 4 games well under this total of 75.5 this year featured 3 losses. So if they're going to lose this game, you got to figure good chance that he's going to be under this number too. And even though Green Bay's 30th in yards per rush allowed, they see the 4th fewest rushes because Rodgers controls the clock, like I said, with that average time of drive. So I just don't think the volume is going to be there for him to get over this number, even if he has a decent day running the ball average-wise, because I don't think he's getting to that 20 carry level that he's been at the last several weeks. So that's going to be my best bet for this game, Mitchell going under his rushing total.
I have the 49ers as the best bet, and I fully acknowledge that if the game script gets to where if it gets to where RJ's describing, where the Packers are up double digits and the 49ers are forced to change their offense and throw the football a bunch, that it will be a big time problem for the 49ers. I mean, if Jimmy Garoppolo has to throw the ball 30 plus times in this game, then it probably means that the Packers are blowing out the 49ers and that they blocked them and got downhill on them. The Joey Bosa thing and Nick Bosa and Fred Warner are massive. I expect both to play. But I mean, if for some reason they didn't, that would drastically change my outlook on San Francisco here, but I do like the Niners getting 6 points. I think it will move back closer to 5 because of those, once we find out that Bosa and Warner are in, and then certainly, if Garoppolo is out for any reason, this could take off past 7. Just because Trey Lance, rookie quarterback that Kyle Shanahan wasn't willing to play much in the regular season, suddenly starting his first career playoff game in Lambeau. I think we'll see some Trey Lance packages though, just because you can run on the Packers. And I'm going to give the edge here to Kyle Shanahan over Matt LaFleur, as good as LaFleur has been, because Shanahan's taking care of business against him most of the time, with the exception being this regular season. I like the 49ers. I think the 49ers are live to win the game, and I love them getting 6. I'm obviously a 49ers honk, but look, I don't think it's a great matchup for Green Bay, but it's also, a tough spot for San Francisco as well, going in there and having to play in that weather against this talented of a football team in the Packers.